Hey, so just a warning, this video is being recorded on our whim, so don't expect the most structure in this, okay? Hey, how's it going, my bitches and bros and my non-binary hoes? It's me, Nicole. And today I want to talk about something I saw while scrolling on Twitter from the one and only Joseph Bad Takes Weeks, who, for once, wasn't the one with the bad take. So a few days back, Joe posted a few interaction tweets where he's basically just giving his opinion on zombie maps. And it was, well, let's just say it was definitely a Joe Weeks list. Like, I'm sorry, but how the fuck do you say Malware is the worst Cold War map? Anyway, basically his list somehow managed to reach and piss off some world record chasers. They just started insulting him and just started going casual at him for no fucking reason. I guess because, you like Cold War. And, following that, Joe was obviously like, I'm not a casual and blah, blah, blah. They argued to a point where this poll was made, which is how I found out about this whole argument. And I decided, you know what, Nicole? I kind of forgot to record a video today. And I need one for the day. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just embrace the fact I'm a white girl on the internet and throw my completely unwanted and unneeded opinion in this debate that does not concern me or involve me, so I can get some views and attention. So going ahead and breezing through most of their arguing, because 99% of it just them going, I'm not a casual. Yes, you are. I'm not a casual. Yes, you are. Their arguments basically boil down to this. Joe said since he did all the achievements, he's played all the maps and beaten most Easter eggs, and has gotten master prestige in several zombies games, he would qualify as a high round player, and then as a hardcore player. And the high rounder, on the other hand, said, no, that's not good enough. You need to compete for records to be considered a hardcore player. If you don't have records, or if you never chase after one, you're a casual. Playtime doesn't matter. If you have 8,500 hours in this game, but you haven't went for a world record, well, you suck. But that's not how it fucking works. But anyway, obviously, I think both are partially wrong in their definitions. But of the two, I think Joe is obviously the closest one to being right, because that second definition has to be one of the most brain dead and terminally online things I've ever seen. And trust me, I know brain dead and terminally online. I live on Twitter. When Twitter goes down, I am considered homeless. So then, Nicole, what would you call a casual then? I'm so glad you asked the person I made up for this video that does not exist. Honestly, after seeing both their arguments, I started to get genuinely worried that I'd forgotten what the definition of casual was. So I quickly went to Google to refresh my memory, and according to Oxford, which, I hear is pretty smart, they say a casual is someone who, quotes, does something irregularly, unquote. So basically that means the average Joe, no, not you, that comes home from, work on a Friday night, boots up zombies every now and then with a cold beer, plays it to relax, and that's about it. Which is actually kind of close to the second definition Oxford gave, which was, quote, relaxed and unconcerned. So I guess technically, yes, that would fit for both people's definitions. You wouldn't, if you are like that, you would not be a high round player. You would be a casual. So then I looked up the definition that Oxford had for hardcore, which again, according to Oxford, was something that said, quote, denoting or relating to pornography. I'm sorry, that's the wrong definition. I'm going to say the most active, committed, or strict members of a group or movement, unquote. I think, yeah, both people's definition would fit for hardcore players. I think the problem was, and the reason I said they was both slightly wrong, is because they act like to be in that camp, you have to do this. You have to, if you want to be considered hardcore, you've had to play every map and be every Easter egg and all that junk. Or you've had to get a world record. I think that's the part where they're wrong about. That state that you have to have all of this done to be a hardcore player. Because, one of the most important words in this definition was or. You have to be the active, most committed, or the most strict member. I think a lot of people forget about that or. Which, of course, brings us to my definitions. And, obviously this isn't Oxford anymore, but my opinion is you have multiple tiers of players. Tier 1, you have the casuals, who, like I said, they only play the game occasionally. When they do, they usually check it out about round 20. They don't really play the DLC. They probably have no idea what the fucking Easter egg is. And if you showed them the Revelations cutscene, they probably just shit themselves in confusion. Like, they play a few times a month at most, and I say if you combined all of their playtime across every map, you might just barely hit 20 hours. Then you get to what I would call the mid-tier player, which is someone who plays about once a week at least, attempts to do the Easter egg, they may or may not succeed, and usually gets around 50 or above if they want to. They know a few not stressed, but not much. Then you go and you have your hardcore players. Hardcore players is someone I would say who plays the game daily or every other day at least. Their play times is most likely in the thousands on a single game, and they know the majority of the stress, and they can easily get to around 100. Well, depending on the map, because obviously on some maps like Call of the Dead, that's tricky to say the least. They probably gotten most of the achievements just playing, and they can do the Easter eggs pretty damn fast. Basically, they treat this game like it's their religion, their life, their job, but it's not always their job. And then moving on to the last tier, we have the competitor. These are the type of player that won high round was talking about. These are the people that are even a tier above the hardcore players. Even though they're technically covered in the umbrella of hardcore, they go that extra mile. These are the players who are not just chasing world records, but they are some of the best in their class. People like Krups, Furkenwalk, Magic Glowbox, Figsu, Freckleston, Bug of Cake, these guys, some of the best players in the world. And yes, these players are absolutely hardcore. They check off every single one of the boxes for the definition of hardcore. But again, like I said earlier, I think that's the one thing that person who was arguing with Joe about forgot, was the word "or" in that definition. These are the people who have all three of those. And that's how you get to, competitor.
But wait, there's more. Hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
And then finally, you have the completionist, which is the player Joe Weeks was talking about. And honestly, I think this player could fit in the mid-tier hardcore or competitor. I really wouldn't call someone who has every single achievement a casual, because they are by no means a casual. They are obviously committed to the game, which is one of the goals you need, which is one of the checkboxes for being hardcore. But they're not the people who are also playing in the game a lot, daily. The people who probably have a goal but aren't really going to touch it once they, get everything unlocked. They can easily fit in the mid. They can just as easily they fit in hardcore, fit as a mid-tier player. So I really wouldn't say, if just because you're a completionist you get pushed into hardcore, but I do think if you're a completionist, you're definitely not a casual either. But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. Casual or hardcore, we're all just people. I think that's probably the most important thing to remember. Fuck this elitist attitude some people in the community have, where they act like they're better than everyone else just because they have the name of ZWR, or act like they are better than people because they don't play video games to have fun, which, spoiler alert, is the fucking point of video games. Like, that shit is just so annoying, and it gets my nerves. And obviously not every high rounder or speedrunner is like that. I know quite a few speedrunners I've talked to who are the most chillest people on earth, and I do not have a bad opinion of them at all. Cannot say a bad thing about them. But there are definitely some people in the community that are also just a bunch of assholes. Anyway, that's it. I'm signing out. Make sure y'all stay hydrated or some shit. I don't know. I'm still working on outros. I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.